Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today's article has to do with Taiwan and the lessons Taiwan should learn from the Ukraine intervention or special operation or war or smackdown or what do you want to call it. I'm going to read this article and then we're going to analyze what they think Taiwan should learn from this and what I think Taiwan should learn. Let's try to make a complete assessment of what someone else should learn from something else because we know best. All right, let's go. So this article comes from Politico by David Cohen from May 1st, 2022, and this is the title. Taiwan learning lessons from Ukraine's stout resistance, foreign minister says. So Taiwan's foreign minister said Sunday that his island nation is studying carefully Russia's invasion of neighboring Ukraine for lessons applicable to its situation with China. And I'm quoting, "We try to see what we can learn from Ukraine in defending ourselves," Foreign Minister Joseph Wu told host Farid Zakaria in an interview on CNN. Is CNN still functioning? All right. So there are two things, of course, Foreign Minister said. The first is asymmetric capability. Look at the Ukrainians. They are small. They use small personal weapons to go against a large enemy. And I think that is something we can learn from. Okay, well, that's a very poor assessment because Ukraine is not alone against this big enemy. So already you start from a very bad informational foundation. And I'm surprised because you are a foreign minister, so you should know better. So already he starts with a wrong information. So if you got a wrong, like you bake a cake. If you put the wrong ingredients, the cake is not going to be baked right. It's going to be a failure. If you put the obvious, the ones that they're supposed to, and the quantities, the cake most likely would come out right. So this foreign minister doesn't put all the necessary and needed information for the issue, for the cake. So obviously he's going to get the wrong conclusion, which is probably going to be, we're going to succeed against anyone because we're strong. Look at this, David and Goliath. There you go. Again, here we go again. So, and I think that is something we can learn from. Yeah, okay. Add some more information, boy. In fact, we have been preparing for that, but we need to make more investment in this regard. You know what investment means? Money, America, weapons. Only America, nobody else. He added, the second area we can learn from Ukraine is civil defense. Look at the Ukrainian people. All of the males are having the determination to defend the police, to defend the country. They want to serve in the military. They want to go to the war zones to fight against Russia. That kind of spirit is enviable, so he has envy for the Taiwanese people. So the Taiwanese people, they have the same kind of spirit, I'm guessing. And then we go exactly to the pointed enemy. China has cast a hungry eye towards Taiwan since 1941, when nationalist leaders fled the mainland at the end of the Mao Zedong's successful communist revolution and established a home there. Tensions have been waxed and waned through the years, but China's leadership has never stopped claiming that Taiwan is part of China. And there it says, where there is war, we need friends and allies to support Taiwan, as in the case of Ukraine, Wu said. I think the Chinese government, so that's the enemy, must be thinking or calculating how the United States or other major countries are going to come to Taiwan's help, or whether they're going to come to Taiwan's help. Okay, if Taiwan does not have any support, I think that's going to be a green light to aggression. Okay, and then he added, the second thing, if they think Taiwan is weak and easy to take over, I think it's an open invitation for Beijing aggression. But I think we have seen from Ukraine, the case of Ukraine is, even though they seem to be weaker than Russia, that they are able to defend themselves, and therefore Beijing must think twice, maybe thrice or 4 times or 3 times, whether they are able to take over Taiwan. All right. And it says they know that if there's going to be a war over Taiwan, it's going to be a disaster for the rest of the world. Okay, I'm not pretty sure of that. But let's go and let's unpack. So as I said, this Wu, Foreign Minister, Joseph Wu, he ignores that in the first sentence that yeah, it's true. Ukraine fights as hell. This fights for it, and population is But Mr. Wu, you have to take into consideration a few more factors for your cake that you're gonna bake, in order for the cake to get good, so we can all eat it and not throw it in the garbage. First, what is your territory? What's the size of your territory compared with Ukraine? So that's one thing. The second one, how how do you call it? How far are your friends or your enemies? So how isolated you are from your help. About what? If you take just the United States, is what? Across Pacific Ocean, Japan, let's say the Americans have something, and who's closer? I think the closest is actually China, right? Now you take China, 1.5 billion, and you take your population is whatever it is, I don't even know, but it can be 40 millions as Ukraine. Your size is like this, Ukraine is like that. You're an island that could be blocked, and that is done. You're done with that. That could be done in 24 hours because of the size of your territory. That matters. By the time those guys come from the other side of the Pacific, or from Japan, or from Midway, or from Hawaii, or from wherever other locations they have, or South Korea, or wherever they have stationed their things, which is not going to be comparable with the China's. You're not going to see coming from the United States the same strength as the Chinese would be able, if they choose to do that. You will not be able to get the weapons. You'll not be able to have a Ukraine has at least half of his border open with Romania. Then they got Hungary, they got Poland, they got the Nordic. They have a lot of territory area where they can get support. Now, if Chinese just go around their little island with their fleet, how are the other guys gonna go through without hitting this? Do you think the United States is gonna get in a war with China for you? Do you think so? If you think so, I think you are misguided. And it's very easy for China, if China chooses, to surround you, block you, and take care of you if they want. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't care for China or for Taiwan, but I'm just analyzing it. The situation is not the same. You can be triple strong and with spirit than the Ukrainians. You understand that your location, your number, and the size of your territory, and the proximity of the enemy and the friends is different than Ukraine's situation. So you can keep dreaming and have wet dreams, and you know what I mean, have parties with champagne and all that, but no, you have a precarious situation compared with Ukraine. And the number, population, size, territory, location, proximity, and all that. I think China can take over you in 24 hours just by moving in, like the Russians did like the Soviets did in the Second World War, by the sheer number. They will get in. Get in. They're too many, too close, too fast. So I don't understand why these guys are just trying to be belligerent. Oh, you can, okay, the Chinese are belligerent or something, but I don't understand these guys, as Romania and other countries in Europe, and Ukraine for that matter, and Lithuania and all Baltic states, they are trying to be belligerent with a next door neighbor and try to be friends with the guys from a different town, not the neighbor right here across the street, or no, house next to house, the guys across the country. And they cannot get these guys in a amicable way, like not friends, but at least have a decent conversation with them. But I don't think it's because they have freedom to do this. I think because that neighbor, that guy from 5 towns distance from you, they don't want you to be okay with your neighbors, the next door neighbors, because that make you're gonna make maybe something they don't like, and they have to control you. So I think the same with Ukraine, the same with the Baltic states, the same with Romania. They keep them in a constant fear about the Russian boot, and here the Chinese dragon. I think that they could find a common denominator. I don't think they have to be enemies. The same with North and South Korea. I think it's a lot of pushed, it's manufactured fear and conflict. And that I have to say that the origin is not in the area, it's further. But you have politicians and you have interest and you have money and threats and blackmail. So I think everything could be even better than right now. Not perfect, not happiness and love and understanding, but everything could be detention, de-escalated. But some people want it escalated because they profit out of this escalation, continuous level of escalation. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.